Every single time you press the brake pedal, you are gambling with thousands of dollars in component wear, wheel destruction, and your own safety based on a decision most drivers make completely on accident. When you go to the auto parts store or approve a brake job at a mechanic shop, you are handed three options: organic, semi-metallic, and ceramic brake pads. Most people blindly pick the most expensive one, thinking higher cost equals better performance, or they buy the cheapest option to save 20 bucks. Both of these choices are dead wrong. Buying the wrong brake pad material can literally destroy your rotors in under 10,000 miles, cover your pristine rims in corrosive metallic dust, or leave you with zero pedal response on a cold morning right when a pedestrian steps into the street. Here is the controversial truth that most brake manufacturers do not want you to understand. Organic pads are made of cheap compressed trash and soft fibers that disintegrate instantly under heat. Semi-metallic pads are loud, aggressive, metallic scrap metal blocks that chew through your cast iron rotors like a lathe, but they will stop a heavy vehicle on a mountain pass without fatting. Ceramic pads are marketed as the luxury holy grail of braking, but in reality, they are terrible at transferring heat. They require warm-up cycles to actually bite, and they can leave you floating right through an intersection if you try to haul a heavy trailer. There is no ultimate brake pad. Every single option is a violent engineering compromise between noise, dust, rotor wear, stopping power, and operating temperature. By the end of this video, you will know the exact microscopic physics happening inside your calipers, why the internet lies about ceramic performance, and precisely which pad compound you must buy for your specific driving conditions. To understand why your brakes squeal, fail, or cover your wheels in black soot, we first have to destroy the biggest myth in car maintenance: the idea that friction is just two surfaces rubbing together. Stopping a 2-ton vehicle traveling at 60 miles per hour isn't just about friction. It is about pure thermal conversion. Your vehicle's kinetic energy must be converted into kinetic heat instantly inside a space no larger than the palm of your hand. When you slam the brakes, surface temperatures between the pad friction material and the iron rotor spike to well over 800 degrees Fahrenheit in less than 2 seconds. How that friction material handles that thermal shock determines whether you stop on a dime or slide directly into the rear bumper of the truck in front of you. Let us start with the oldest, softest, and most controversial pad compound on the market: non-asbestos organic, commonly known as NAO or simply organic brake pads. Decades ago, brake pads were made with asbestos because it was cheap, fireproof, and indestructible. Once the world realized asbestos was a deadly carcinogen, chemical engineers panicked and hastily formulated organic friction materials using a cocktail of rubber, glass, Kevlar, carbon compounds, and high-temperature resins bound together. The immediate result: organic pads are extraordinarily soft, virtually silent, and extremely gentle on your brake rotors. When you push the pedal with organic pads, the initial bite feels smooth, predictable, and comfortable. Because the pad material is softer than the cast iron rotor, the pad wears down cleanly without scoring or carving grooves into the metal face. If you drive a light commuter sedan, stay below 40 miles per hour, and never haul cargo, organic pads sound like a dream. Now here is the dark side of organic pads that manufacturers hide in the fine print. Because organic pads rely heavily on resin binders to hold the glass and rubber fibers together, they have an embarrassingly low thermal threshold. The moment you drag your brakes down a steep hill or make 2 consecutive hard stops on the highway, those resin binders reach their thermal limit. They literally begin to gas off and vaporize at the interface between the pad and the rotor. This creates a microscopic cushion of superheated gas that prevents the pad from physically touching the iron. This phenomenon is known as mechanical brake fade. You push the pedal with all your strength, the pedal feels rock hard, but the car simply keeps rolling forward as if the road were greased with butter. Organic pads are fundamentally incapable of handling high-speed driving, heavy vehicle weights, or high thermal environments. They are literally designed to melt so your rotors don't have to. When car manufacturers started building heavier SUVs, trucks, and high-horsepower sedans in the late 20th century, organic pads completely failed. Enter the most aggressive, durable, and brutally noisy friction material ever placed on a production street vehicle: semi-metallic brake pads. Semi-metallic pads throw out the soft glass and rubber compounds and replace 30 to 70% of the pad mass with raw metallic elements. We are talking about chopped steel wool, iron powder, copper fibers, and graphite lubricants pressed together under massive hydraulic force and baked at extreme temperatures. If you want absolute, unyielding stopping power under extreme abuse, nothing on earth beats a high-friction semi-metallic compound. Unlike organic pads, semi-metallic pads are incredible thermal conductors. When heat builds up at the braking surface, the metallic fibers draw that heat directly through the friction material and radiate it away into the caliper and ambient air. They do not gas off under normal track or heavy towing conditions. They operate across a massive temperature window, meaning the hotter you get them, the harder they bite into the iron rotor. If you are towing a 8,000-pound boat down a mountain pass or running hot laps at a track day, semi-metallic pads are the only thing standing between you and a catastrophic runaway vehicle. So why doesn't every car come from the factory with semi-metallic pads? Because driving on semi-metallic pads in a daily commuter vehicle can be an absolute nightmare. First, because they are packed with hard steel and iron fibers. They act like high-speed sandpaper against your brake rotors. Every time you come to a stop, the pad literally grates away microlayers of cast iron from the rotor face. You will replace your rotors twice as fast with semi-metallic pads compared to any other compound. Second, they are notoriously loud. Metallic fibers vibrating against an iron disc create high-frequency squeal that drives daily commuters insane. Third, and perhaps most annoying to modern car owners, is the dust. Semi-metallic pads produce massive amounts of dark, metallic, sticky dust. That dust isn't just ugly. It contains hot iron filings that rain down onto your aluminum alloy wheels. When that iron dust gets wet from rain or car washes, it oxidizes and rusts directly onto your clear coat, permanently pitting and ruining expensive wheels if you don't scrub them weekly with acid-based cleaners. This brings us to the most hyped, heavily marketed, and wildly misunderstood friction material on the planet: ceramic brake pads. In the late 1990s, Japanese automakers began equipping vehicles with ceramic friction technology to solve the exact problems semi-metallic pads created: noise and dust. Ceramic pads are constructed using dense ceramic materials, similar to clay pottery or high-performance porcelain, interwoven with microscopic copper fibers or synthetic aramid structures to manage heat transfer and structural integrity. Walk into any automotive forum or ask a casual car guy, and they will tell you that ceramic pads are the absolute best upgrade you can make to any vehicle. They will claim ceramics stop faster, last forever, and keep your wheels pristine. That marketing narrative is a massive oversimplification that borders on dangerous misinformation. Let us look at the real engineering facts of ceramic pads. What makes them incredible for daily street driving? First, noise. The microscopic vibrations generated by ceramic compounds occur at a frequency far above the range of human hearing. When a ceramic pad grips a rotor, it operates in near-total silence. Second, dust generation. Ceramic pads do produce dust as they wear down, but the dust is light gray or white in color, non-abrasive and non-sticky. It does not bond to your aluminum rims, and it easily washes off with plain water. Third, rotor longevity. Ceramic pads create a microscopic transfer layer of material that embeds itself permanently into the pores of the iron rotor. Instead of pad against iron friction, you get transfer layer against pad friction. This results in virtually zero rotor wear over tens of thousands of miles. Sounds like magic, right? Here is the catch that the ceramic marketing machine conveniently leaves out. Ceramic pads are terrible thermal conductors. While semi-metallic pads absorb heat and pull it away from the braking interface, ceramic pads act as thermal insulators. They push all of that thermal energy directly back into the iron rotor. Under heavy, sustained braking, a ceramic pad will cause rotor temperatures to skyrocket far beyond what a semi-metallic pad would allow. This intense heat localization can lead to severe rotor warping, localized hot spots, and structural heat-checking cracks in the iron disc. Furthermore, ceramic pads suffer from a critical weakness that almost no casual buyer understands: cold bite torque. Ceramic friction compounds require a minimum operating temperature to achieve their maximum coefficient of friction. When you first step into your car on a freezing winter morning and tap the brakes at the first stop sign, a ceramic pad offers significantly less initial bite than a semi-metallic or organic pad. You have to push the pedal noticeably harder to get the same stopping power until the friction surface warms up. On top of that, in extreme heavy-duty applications, like hauling heavy payloads, commercial towing, or aggressive mountain driving, ceramic pads hit a thermal wall where their friction coefficient drops off precipitously. They simply lack the sheer strength and thermal dissipation capacity of dense metal compounds. To truly understand which pad reigns supreme, we have to examine the microscopic mechanics of how these materials interact with the rotor surface. Friction in automotive braking operates under two distinct mechanisms: abrasive friction and adhesive friction. Semi-metallic pads rely almost entirely on abrasive friction. Think of abrasive friction like dragging a block of concrete across a wooden floor. The hard metallic particles in the pad physically interlock with the microscopic peaks and valleys of the cast iron rotor, breaking those iron bonds at a molecular level to generate stopping force. This process creates massive kinetic resistance and immediate stopping power, but it mechanically consumes both the pad and the rotor simultaneously. Ceramic pads, on the other hand, operate primarily through adhesive friction. During the initial break-in or bedding-in process of a ceramic pad, high heat and pressure force a thin, microscopic film of ceramic compound to shear off the pad and bond directly to the surface of the iron rotor. Once this transfer layer is established, the ceramic pad is no longer rubbing against raw cast iron. It is rubbing against its own transferred ceramic film. The chemical bonds between the pad and the transfer layer break and reform continuously during braking. This creates clean, quiet, and smooth deceleration without physically grinding down the underlying rotor metal. However, if you fail to bed in a ceramic pad correctly, or if you overheat the system and burn off that delicate transfer layer unevenly, you end up with severe brake pulsation. Drivers instantly blame warped rotors, but 90% of the time, warped rotors are actually uneven, blotchy deposits of ceramic transfer material stuck to the face of the disc. Now let us bring the controversy to a head. Which brake pad is actually better, and who wins the ultimate battle? The answer depends entirely on your vehicle's weight, your driving habits, and what trade-offs you are willing to tolerate. If you drive a standard subcompact, light commuter hatchback, or a slow city runabout, and your driving consists entirely of stop-and-go traffic under 40 miles per hour, organic pads are entirely sufficient. They are cheap, completely silent, and soft on the pedal. However, for 90% of modern drivers, organic pads are obsolete technology that should stay in the past. They fade too quickly under modern highway speeds and wear out far too fast to justify the minor cost savings. If you own a heavy full-size truck, a commercial van, a vehicle frequently used for towing heavy trailers, or a high-performance sports car meant for spirited canyon driving or track days, semi-metallic pads are the undisputed king. Do not let anyone convince you to put ceramic pads on a vehicle towing 6,000 pounds down a steep grade. The cold bite, superior thermal conductivity, and sheer mechanical shear strength of semi-metallic compounds will keep your brake system alive when temperatures exceed 1,000 degrees. Yes, You will have to wash black iron dust off your wheels every week. Yes, your brakes might squeal occasionally when cold. Yes, you will replace your iron rotors more frequently. But when you stomp on that pedal at 80 miles per hour with a fully loaded trailer, semi-metallic pads will convert that massive kinetic energy into heat instantly without fatting into gas. If you drive a modern mid-size sedan, a crossover SUV, a luxury vehicle, or a daily commuter car that stays on paved roads, and your priority is clean wheels, dead silent operation, smooth pedal feel, and long-lasting rotors, ceramic pads are the absolute best choice for your situation. They eliminate the daily annoyances of brake noise and filthy rims while providing exceptional durability under normal driving parameters. Just remember that you are sacrificing peak thermal endurance and aggressive cold bite in exchange for comfort and cleanliness. Stop falling for clever auto parts store marketing and stop buying friction materials based solely on price tags. Match the pad compound to the physical reality of how you drive. If you prioritize comfort, low noise, and clean wheels for daily commuting, go ceramic. If you demand raw stopping power, heat dissipation, heavy towing capability, and track performance, accept the dust and noise and install semi-metallic. Choose wrong, and you will pay for it in ruined rotors, faded pedal feel, or wasted money. Choose right, and your braking system will perform flawlessly every single time you hit the pedal. And let us expose the biggest retail scam in the automotive aftermarket, the so-called ceramic metallic hybrid or premium performance ceramic labels. These are pure marketing gimmicks invented to trick drivers into paying premium prices for cheap, compromise-heavy friction formulas. When a manufacturer blends cheap metallic filler into a budget ceramic pad, you do not get the best of both worlds. You get the worst of both. You end up with a pad that degrades under extreme heat like a basic ceramic, while simultaneously eating your iron rotors and spitting corrosive black dust like a harsh semi-metallic. Never fall for vague buzzwords on a colorful cardboard box. Look at the actual engineering composition, check the cold friction ratings, and force your mechanic to specify the exact pad compound going onto your calipers.